visuals, and welcome back to another edition of the Visual Guyz film reviews. This week, this time around, we are we are fresh from the cinema. We are fresh from the cinema, but as you can fucking see the glaze, we aren't fresh because we got out of the cinema and it was fucking hot as shit. We have just got back from the first screening to the public of Fantastic Four: First Steps. And oh my god, visuals! All I need to say is, that was fucking awesome. Thanks for watching the review. Go watch the film. Bye. No, but in all seriousness, Fantastic Four: First Steps. Yes, I know, big shock. Dan's always Mr. Optimistic. Everything's always fun and awesome to Dan. This was truly fucking awesome. This was... I don't want to do the whole recency bias thing, but like... one of the best MCU films, one of the best films I've seen all year. This was so fucking awesome. I know I've got my biased hat on because, well, not because of Spider-Man, but Pedro Pascal, and any long-term viewers of the channel know how much I love that bastard. But visuals, this film was friggin' awesome. Let's try and break down, let's try and give the spoiler-free review that we possibly can. At some point in the next week or so, or a couple of weeks, whatever, me and Chris will have a spoiler-heavy review because we're going to go see it again with Chris, but not till tomorrow. I'm going again later tonight. I'm going with Chris tomorrow. So yes, let's try and spoiler-free review it. The Fantastic Four: First Steps is the first time we've seen the Fantastic Four in, like... when the fuck did they bring out the one with Michael B. Jordan? That must have been like, that has to have been like 8 to 10 years ago, surely it was. Anyway, we are back with the Fantastic Four, and what is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the best live action adaptation we've had of the Fantastic Four ever, period, full stop, whatnot, and all that shit. But this film visually, oh my god, visuals, this fucking too many visuals. Visually though, this was an absolute stunning beautiful film. There's a lot of again, this isn't trailer, not spoiler, there's a lot of space exploration, all that kind of shit, when the Fantastic Four are off to go find Galactus and try and solve out what's going to happen, how can we save our world and stuff. And visually, it was absolutely stunning. Even the aesthetic of the whole 60s sort of vibe. Like, I'm not the biggest 60s lover in that vibe of the furniture and how cars looked and all that kind of shit and what people were wearing and stuff. But it looked great in this and it looked awesome. And I thought, hey, I wouldn't mind actually going to visit a 1960s era Fantastic Four, see the Baxter building, the Fantastic Four building and shit. That would be quite dope. But yeah, look-wise, visually on the screen, it was fucking awesome. The story as well is quite easy to get your head around. It's a typical comic book story. It very much felt like it was. We just had it with Superman. This felt like it was from the wacky, crazy, over the top at times pages of Fantastic Four. We get a nice little montage of some classic Fantastic Four villains. This was definitely a love letter to Fantastic Four fans and the Fantastic Four comics. There were so many references and deep into Fantastic Four lore and all that kind of shit, which I'm sure you guys will notice as well. They don't hide it, but there's people like fucking Mole Man and shit. I didn't know Mole Man was cast in this, but we get Mole Man and all this kind of stuff, unless that went right over my head in the trailers and shit. But it really is a love letter to the Fantastic Four. It's a visually beautiful story. Fantastic Four team get together. We need to stop Galactus coming. We all know what Galactus is about. He wants to devour the world. How do we stop it? Away we go. Nice, clear-cut, beautiful, beautiful story. There are some, there are a few funny moments, mostly revolving around Ben and Johnny. They had the more comedic sort of stuff. There was a few between all of them, but it was mostly between them two. But this is by far nowhere near the funniest MCU film we've had. But it's not supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be. Let's have the funniest time ever with the Fantastic Four. You'll chuckle at one or two moments, but to be fair, it's quite serious and heavy because, again, this isn't the trailer. It's nothing spoiler. The overall sort of thing of, okay, how do we save Earth? Galactus wants Franklin. Why does he want Franklin? Blah, blah, blah. We know how, comic book readers, we know what Franklin's powers go on and all that sort of to be. We're going to sacrifice our child to Galactus? No, we'll try and stop him. And it's a sort of heavy tone, you know, the whole question of, would you give up your child to save the Earth and all this kind of stuff. Reed Richards at his absolute finest in this, so smart. But he does show a few moments of vulnerability and weakness and where he didn't quite get it. We even get a moment where he's sort of like, I don't know how we do this. I don't know how we answer this problem. He's still blaming himself for what happened with the Fantastic Four, of them getting the powers. It doesn't go into a deep dive of how they get the powers. We don't need that. We know the origin story of the Fantastic Four. Most comic book films, unless it's a brand new character to live action or whatever, to the general public, we don't need the origin stories. Again, we don't get it this time. We get a nice little quick rerun celebrating 4 years of the Fantastic Four. That's how long they've been going around as heroes, as Earth's protectors in this. Because what Earth are we on? Was it 828? No, 823. I can't which one it fucking was now. I think it was 823 or 828, one of them two. We get like a little montage of breakdown. We see, like I said, we see some OG classics. We see an iconic Fantastic Four image. If you know what I'm on about, and the first ever sort of cover issue of Fantastic Four, you're gonna relive that and stuff. We get some absolutely fucking phenomenal, stellar performances. One actually, it wasn't a good performance, but it was like, is this baby doing some acting? Because the baby that's playing Franklin at one moment when Reed's picking up Pedro, the baby sort of goes. And he's looking at Miss Fantastic, Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal, as if to say, am I being held by Pedro Pascal? That's what I thought in my head. I was like, the fucking baby's realising, this is fucking Pedro Pascal. And what the fucking shit. I was like, I'm very jealous of that baby. I wish he would hold me like I was this baby. Don't be a creep. It's a Fantastic Four review. Vanessa Kirby playing Sue Storm. Absolutely beautiful. Maybe these stand up. All of the performances were phenomenal. We'll try and get to each major one. All of them were amazing, but Vanessa Kirby really stood out as Sue Storm. She really embodied her in everything that she had going through with the pregnancy and the baby stuff and all that kind of stuff. And the chemistry between Pedro and Vanessa, I genuinely believe, I believe they were a whole entire family. You had that family together, and it's Marvel's, first family and stuff. You really had that coming together. But Pedro and Vanessa acted on screen, Reed Richards and Sue, I felt like they were a real married couple. I thought, oh, okay, these two have been together for fucking years. I truly believed it, but she was so monumentally beautiful in this film. And there's a great moment where she's going toe-to-toe with Galactus, doing some fucking awesome shit. And I'm like, come on, fucking have it. You'll root behind all of them, but you'll really root behind her. She was fucking great. Joseph Quinn as Human Torch. I had a few question marks going into this because obviously I really first saw him as Eddie Munson, and then he did a few little bits and bobs. We've just had him in Warfare. He was great in Warfare. And when I first heard he was getting cast as Johnny Storm, I was a little bit like, is he going to be a bit of a ladies' man to play? Is he going to pay it off? The more I saw the trailers, the more I saw the images, the more I saw how it played out. And then when seeing the film, no question marks anymore. Completely and happily proven wrong. He was fucking awesome as Johnny Storm, aka Human Torch. What the fuck's his name? Playing Ben. Richie from The Bear. I don't want to call him Richie because he's not just Richie from The Bear. Fuck. I know he's got a bit of a crazy long neck. Either way, we're just going to say Richie from The Bear because I can't remember shit. Great, amazing. He really embodied everything that the Thing was and who the Thing is. There was a couple of moments, especially in Trenchcoat Ben Grimm, that we've seen so many times in the comics, and a little love story building up. Well, you'll get to that when you see it. And the moments where reflecting, where he's looking through TVs and shit about the news and everything that's happening, stuff, really embodying the Thing and who Ben Grimm is and all that kind of stuff. The big powerhouse, the comedy side of it, giving it, it's not my catchphrase clobbering time, but eventually, as you can imagine, we do get it. The dynamic between him and Johnny was amazing. In fact, him and Joseph Quinn have been quite funny on all their little press tours and all this kind of shit. They've been quite good together. But he was absolutely outstanding and fucking beautiful in every single way. It was nice to get a little kitchen sequence, especially coming off the back of season 4 of The Bear a few weeks back. Ralph Inson and Julia Garner as Galactus and Silver Surfer, Shallow Ball, Silver Surfer. Both of these were great. And again, a lot of people were a bit more non-comic book readers, I guess. Like, why they made the Silver Surfer a girl and all this kind of shit. And again, I guess that's non-comic book reader ignorance, knowing that there's been different takes and whatnot on Silver Surfer and shit. She fucking killed it, though. I said that with some sass, didn't I? She absolutely killed it. She had some really cool moments, and she had a great bit of a dynamic between her and Johnny. There's a moment where Johnny shows his bit of intelligence and, shows that he's not just some dumb girl chasing sort of cool guy, Johnny Storm. He actually has a little bit of intelligence to help solve the overall grand puzzle of the Galactus and Silver Surfer coming. Is it Ralph Inson? Yeah, talking like that. I can't do his voice. He really, again, just like Richie did, he embodied, stop calling him Richie, embodied what Galactus is. I did see a few people in early reviews saying they didn't like the fact that we didn't get the classic Galactus shrinking of size and all this kind of shit. It's his ship that we was devouring the planets, but I'm fairly certain we've seen that before in comics. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain we have. I don't mind when he made his presence felt and he come to Earth. You really felt it. It was fucking so cool. Like I said, his one-on-one moment with Sue was just really great, and the team at different moments going to attack him and all this kind of shit. Everybody that had their part to play in this played it phenomenal. And do you know what else really got us is that they called the ship Excelsior, obviously Stan Lee and ship, amazing. There's a nice little tribute to Jack Kirby as well. There's two end credit scenes, one somewhat serious and one bit of fun, but there's a nice little reference, a little quote from Jack Kirby and stuff, which was really, really, really fucking beautiful. But the film visually outstanding. Little bits of comedy. The action sequences when the team are all doing their different abilities, Reed stretching, jumping up Galactus, doing whatever bits and bobs. The way they got Johnny flying around and doing his flames is a moment we see him again in the trailer. Not a spoiler. Suck up some flames, helping some firefighters out. Ben, just a big powerhouse, pulling up boats, smashing into pillars and stuff. Great. The use of Sue's, I was going to say Storm. The use of Sue's powers, so amazing. Have like that rainbowy sort of flickery kind of effect. Absolutely gorgeous and fucking out of this world. But like I said, I think the biggest takeaway is the connection that the actors all felt. I really feel like on the press tour, they've all felt like they've become really good friends as it is anyway. And I think that played off on screen. They felt like a real family, having their dinner times together and the way they're interacting and speaking to each other. And when Franklin's born, how, you know, Johnny and Ben, the two uncles, are looking after and all this kind of stuff. So fucking gorgeous. There's many moments where my eyes just welled up, and because I was having so much fun. There's a lot of heart and there's a lot of beauty to this film, and there's some really great filmmaking, some great visuals, some great action sequences, some amazing callbacks and Easter eggs and references to Fantastic Four comics and comics and stuff in general. Oh, it was beautiful. The overall tone, everything about this film was just fucking awesome. I can't get over how, because I knew I was going to like it anyway, because I'm Mr. Optimistic. Oh yeah, see Marvel shit. The Fantastic Four I've always really liked. I've always thought the Fantastic Four are awesome. But when it come on my chain of like Marvel shit, again, they didn't get anywhere near the Venoms and the Spider-Mans and, you know, the Deadpools and shit of my sort of Marvel favourite lists. But this particular incarnation of Fantastic Four was just fucking stellar, and I love them that even bit more. And I love Pedro and I love Vanessa and I love everybody involved. Fucking phenomenal. Of course, I'm going to give it a massive 10 out of 10. What else was I going to give it? Beautiful film. A welcomed addition to the MCU. I cannot wait. It says they will appear again in Avengers Doomsday, so I'm guessing we're not going to get anything cleared up, and I'm assuming what we see at the end of Thunderbolts probably takes place after the events of this film, because there's nothing in this film that's a bit of a spoiler, isn't it? Sorry, there's no real connection to Thunderbolts, or the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts in this particular film, so wherever we're going to go after this, fuck knows. I'm going to let them continue to thrill and surprise me and shit like that. But yeah, Fantastic Four, massive 10 out of 10, beautifully in love. Vanessa Kirby, you are an absolute fucking G. Joseph Quinn, Richie, Pedro, everybody, fucking beautiful. I think I always go, we've never reviewed it enough. I think I've said everything I need to say. A couple of great yay moments, like I said. See, you know, there's so and so. They mentioned these and they mentioned that. I think I've mentioned everything though. Absolutely beautiful. I highly recommend you check Fantastic Four first steps out ASAP. Does it beat Superman? We've just had Superman lately. Does it beat Superman? Fuck. I think I might have to just about say no. I think. Oh, I don't know. I might have to get back to you on that one. Not that any of you even asked me that one. Is it the best superhero film? Because we've had 3 superhero films this year, haven't we? Thunderbolts, Superman and Fantastic Four. I think if it's not first, it's probably going to be second. I think my list will go Superman, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and it's all very close though, because I've read them all fucking 10 out of 10 anyway. But anyway, visuals, that is my review for Fantastic Four. First steps, tried to spoil it as least as I possibly could. Please go check it out ASAP. Come back every day, but come back in a few weeks when we do a spoiler heavy review. But apart from that, visuals, thank you so much for watching. You guys are literally the fucking best. But remember to always keep being you and keep on keeping on.